Pro tip, even if she's for the streets, as the youth say, she may not be for the cobblestones. And what I mean by that is, there's many times when I'm hanging around in a city where they got cobblestone streets. Well, I'll just be straight with it. There's many times where I'm just running in Baltimore, and it's like, I'm in Baltimore, I'm at night, maybe I'm in Fells Point, and they got a lot of cobblestone streets there. And there's many times where I'll see somebody, typically a woman, out there with, a set of platform boots, a set of high heels, dress shoes, something that she might not normally wear. And I see her, going across the street, and she just goes right to the ground. And I get it, it's easy to roll an ankle or, get your uneven footing and fall. But what gets me is, like, there's so many times where it's like I've seen a guy get out of the car, and it's, maybe his wife, maybe his girlfriend, or an older couple, it could be a sister. They get out, and she goes right to the ground. Then she gets up on her own and then walks all the way to the curb by herself. And it's like, at least do the courtesy of offering your hand. Be like, hey, you need a hand, or you need an arm to lean onto to get across the street. And it's something that it gets me a little bit, because it's like, it's cobblestone streets, man. And when I see people just dressed up real nice, it's kind of like, you dressed up for a night out, and now you've got a hunk of useless meat next to you not doing anything. And it just, I don't know, it frustrates me. It's also like, sometimes you'll be driving along, or not necessarily driving along, but you'll be standing there, and there'll be somebody where it's like, all right, you got a girl with some, like, a nice set of heels on her boots, and their boyfriend or whatever is with them. They walk onto the street, their Uber's like up the block a little bit, so now instead of walking back up onto the sidewalk so she can walk at a decent pace, they walk down the street in traffic at walking pace, but slower than walking pace, because she's all uneven on these cobblestones, walking jittery, while kind of like stumbling a little bit. But it's like, I know she's not hammered, it's just the footwear, and it's like, my guy, you could like double this, triple the speed even, by just offering your arm, so that way she can confidently walk to the vehicle. And yeah, it's one of those things that it's a weird thing, I guess, to be like upset about, because it's like, none of these people am I ever really going to see again. It's like, you just kind of want to yell at them. Hey, dumbass, you going to do something? Put your hand out. Say, hey, lady, you need help? I don't know. It just kind of frustrates me, because it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. Cobblestone streets are kind of fun, though, too, because sometimes in the rain, or in like, I haven't really been out there with too much ice or any other strange weather phenomenon, but I know, like, especially in the rain, you see a lot of bicycles, and especially like the electric scooter rentals, those guys just wiping out. And I think it's just like that perfect combination of like wet and uneven surface that really makes the electric scooters unpredictable. And I always see it because it's like, this is not the environment to be. If you're going to be learning an electric scooter, don't do it on cobblestone streets, especially when the weather's rough, I'll see a lot of people just ripping along. Every now and then somebody takes a spill. Actually, they take spills way more often in the rain. Like, almost every time that I've seen a rainstorm, maybe every other time, somebody's going down, be it an e-bike or a scooter of some sort, on the cobblestones. And I don't know, it's another thing where it's like, my guy, did you at least think? Did you say, oh man, I couldn't go down? And I really hate seeing that, because it's like, a lot of times when somebody, especially on a scooter, they're not wearing a helmet, they're not wearing gloves, they're not wearing anything to protect themselves. They're just like raw dogging the pavement, and you're like, ooh, That one had to have hurt. And I know gloves seem like a weird thing, but you're not wearing gloves, because I know whenever I ride a bike, I like to wear gloves. And I always think about it like, my first thing is glasses, second thing is gloves, third thing is helmet. And it's a weird thing because I know that somebody was like, why'd you put them in that order? And it's like, well, I need glasses because the last thing I want to do is smack an eye and then crash. Second thing is, I want to wear gloves because my instinct has been so far that when I'm falling off, I put my hand down and sliding on the slot, whatever the material was on the palm of my gloves, it's like a little bit of some sort of composite material, really helped my hands just not get torn up off of pavement from sliding on my hands when you go for a fall. It's not like a long slide, but just enough where it's like, oh, thank God I didn't have, raw skin to pavement there. Then the other thing is like helmet, because you never really know which way down you're going or how you're going down, so it's always a good idea to have the helmet. And I'm not saying, never wear a helmet. I'm saying wear the helmet, but I'm also saying helmet's not the first thing I look for when I say I want to go out and ride my bike. That being said, there's a lot of people out there that are just popping on a bike that's like a rental bike. So it's like, especially with the electric scooters, it's like, you're getting on an electric scooter, but there's what are the chances you happen to have a set of gloves in your pocket, a set of safety glasses in your vest, and a helmet on you? Relatively low, unless you're pretty much using them as your primary form of transportation. Which, I'm saying that because, like, ironically enough, the guy wearing the helmet, because he's probably planned enough, is probably less likely to crash than the guy that's like, oh man, I can rent a scooter off my cell phone. Let me give this thing a rip real quick, and I've been drinking because I'm down in the bars district. And you know what? Cobblestones are as good a place to learn as any. It's like, that's not the recipe for success. I don't know, it's like kind of like the weird things you hold on to. I remember in one of the driver's ed courses I was taking, they said, the average accident has at least 3 factors. They have more than 3 factors, but it's easy to find at least 3 factors in any accident. And it's like, oh wow, what are they? And it's like, well, too fast for conditions is a factor. Do you have the right inflation in your tires? Are you prepared to drive? That includes, are you wearing sunglasses or eye protection so you don't have to like squint or worry about getting, I don't want to say get worried, but about getting blinded by the sun, but you can handle, you're not out there, squinting real hard. You're, comfortable how you're going to be. And I think about that because, like, a lot of the people that I see just kind of like boinking it, they're out there and, that they've got multiple things going on, and you can just tell from a distance. It's like, all right, you're not wearing the right amount of clothes for hitting the pavement with that, so you're probably not intending to crash, but crashes really aren't your choice, That's kind of like the reason why they call them accidents, because it wasn't really intentional, It was accidental. And, I don't know, it's, cobblestones, man, they get you. And definitely one thing I gotta say about those cobblestone streets is I do love them for driving on, because cobblestones are just nice because the pedestrians can hear you, they hear that thump, 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 and they know to get out of your way most of the time. That being said, there are some people out there, there's a lot of people out there that are indifferent to vehicle traffic, but for the people that do move out of the way, it's kind of nice. The thing I like about cobblestone streets as a pedestrian is a lot of times people don't really speed on them, and when they do speed, you can hear them coming from a couple blocks away because they're really slapping that pavement. You're like, oh man, somebody's going fast. Now, I guess there is a speed they could be going, which is faster than my ability to perceive, but I haven't experienced that particular situation yet. So there's always new situations to experience. I'm not really looking forward to it. Yeah, I don't know, cobblestone streets. I kind of wish we had more of them, but I kind of understand why you don't. I cannot imagine driving a snowplow across them or trying to deal with secondary factors of just using them. And a secondary factor of a cobblestone street is people not just speeding on them, but like, you don't. Every now and then you'll see a vehicle like tear stuff out of the pavement, and it's like, yeah, if your cobblestone roads ever had stuff torn out of the pavement on them, it'd kind of be a bummer for everybody, especially if one of those stones got thrown. Because somebody is doing a little bit of showboating and they forgot they're not on the water, they're on the streets. Yeah. The other thing, too, I like about cobblestone streets is the rusticness of them. They just really make you feel... And it feels like I'm walking in a different time period. It makes me feel like, oh, man, I know what the founding fathers felt. It makes me feel like, man, I know what it felt like to be a peasant in France. You're just like, wow, cobblestones. Nothing quite on my feet like them. Now, the other thing about cobblestones is, yeah, you know what? I have been that guy to help a nice lady across the street, and if she's somebody that you're out there on a date with, guess what, man? That's an excuse to hold hands for a minute, Oh, you want to hold hands with me while, or you need a hand across the street? And she's like, oh, wow, that's really nice of you. And now it's like, guess what? You just are like, oh, wow, look, he's got manners, Or, well, I guess she or he... situation, all right? You offered your hand. Whoever got offered the hand, unless they're really against help of any kind, they'll be like, oh, wow, that was kind of nice. I got, a little bit of that escort service across the street. I got the old bodyguard special. Yeah, it's kind of fun stuff. Cobblestones are, I don't know, man, they're kind of everything and they're nothing in a sense. They're everything I want in a city, but I also can understand that if they were the only street option, they'd kind of be kind of annoying to deal with. Especially with the, the everything about them. Maintenance is probably a little bit of a bear on them. But, I don't know. I still have my fun with them. Obviously, I've rambled a little bit too long because, my thought locomotive is ending. But much like the cobblestone streets, I guess you don't want to extend your welcome. All right, peace.